Hello and welcome to round 10 of the 2009 GP4 Offline Championship. We are here for the German Grand Prix here at the Nürburgring circuit, the world famous Nürburgring Nordschleife circuit, I should say, after last weekend's British Grand Prix where James Willows took the second Red Bull victory of the season, meaning that Brawn have won so far 7 out of 9 races with Red Bull, I should say, winning the other two. So what will happen in this one? First of all, the race rating for Britain was given a 5.8, and the driver of the day, the winner of the British Grand Prix in front of his home fans, James Willows, so that's not really a surprise there. But we are here at the Nürburgring. We are obviously on the new layout, or the newer layout, not the post, I think, 2002 layout. Personally, I think this circuit's alright. I don't think it's too bad. Obviously, this was not intentionally meant to be held last year for the European Grand Prix, but due to problems with the Valencia circuit, this was put in its place. But obviously, we shall see what Florian Volker, the home favourite, can do. He'll want to try and get a good result in front of his home fans today, as we are set to go to the grid to see what happened. It was a dry qualifying, as we will now head to the grid. So this should be an interesting race, depending on if it's dry or not. But anyway, here we are, we're on the grid. So here is the grid for the race. So Miklos Gau is on pole. Joseph Willows is second. Great qualifying from Willows and McLaren, who's looked quick all weekend. Third is his brother James, who's looked good in the Red Bull. Fourth is Will Neller. Fifth is Wayne Cooper. Sixth is Alex Southgate. Disappointing from the Brawns, who have not looked that good this weekend, despite Gau getting pole position. G. Mackenzie 7th, Florian Volker a disappointing 8th, Felix Sonntag is 9th, with Jack Boyman following behind in 10th place. In 11th place is Finlay Strachan, a decent qualifying from him. Finlay Strachan yet to get off the points mark so far this season. 12th place is Azal Zafri, better qualifying from him after, I think, last weekend both Force Indies were at the back of the grid. 13th place is Viggo Holst, 14th place is Paige Knight. 15th is Roland Moyton, 16th is Evan Byrne in the Williams, and 17th place is Moyton's teammate Victor Bobo. 18th is Adam Wolf in the other Williams car. In 19th place, a very, very disappointing qualifying from George Roke, with Jordan Maturin 20th, and then in 21st place is Sam Thompson, followed by Michael Mocho at the back. So Thompson's bad qualifying and bad season, really, to be honest, continues. So that is the grid for the German Grand Prix. Now we will see what the weather will be like for the race, and as you can see, it will be fully dry for the race, so this should be very interesting. So Gal, who at the moment is only 1 point ahead of Alex Southgate in the championship fight, so it'll be very important. Well, I should say he's in a very good position right now, on pole position, with Southgate only down in 6th place. Anyway, here we are. We are now on the grid. Gal is on pole, with Willows 2nd, James Willows 3rd, and then Nella 4th. The lights are on. We're now on the 5 lights. And the lights are out and away we go. And Gal, I think, gets a good start. Joseph Willows gets a good start as well. As we're looking at Boyman in 10th place. And it looks like Nella's got a pretty decent start as well, as he's trying to now get past Joseph Willows, going around the outside of turn 1. But I don't think he's going to be able to do it, as Mackenzie gets on the inside of Waze Kuba there. And Gal keeps the lead. Willows is 2nd, Nella 3rd, James Willows 4th, as Nella tries to make a move on Joseph Willows for 2nd place there. Mackenzie's in 5th, with Volker in 6th, as Nella once again tries to make a move on Joseph Willows, coming out of the first tight, twisty section of this circuit. So now coming out to the fast left-hander, then out to the right, which is the Michael Schumacher turn, or corner, the Michael Schumacher S turn, coming into the fast right-left, or left-right, sorry, I should say. But Joseph Willows still in 2nd, so another 3rd. 4th is James Willows, and here is Sontag trying to make a move on Mackenzie, 4th, 5th place, as there is battles going throughout the field, as Moyton makes his move on Azal Zafri for 12th place. So a good move there, as Thompson is in 21st there, as we see Gal, who is already gaining a bit of a lead over Joseph Willows in front. Nella's 3rd, Willows is 4th, Mackenzie's 5th, Sontag is 6th, Kuba's 7th, and Southgate has dropped all the way down to 8th, so not a good start for Alex Southgate. And this is great news for Miklos Gal, who, if he finishes like he is, he'll extend his points lead massively. But here is a battle for 5th places. We're now coming up to the final chicane, and Sontag is right behind. So is Kuba, so is Southgate. Sontag tries to move. There was a little bit of contact there but they manage to get away with it, and Sontag stays behind, and Mackenzie gets away. As there is Nella coming down the final straight, there's a yellow flag. Something's happened in the final chicane. Knight has gone into the pits. I think she might have been involved in it. And what has happened is Moichin, Roland Moichin, and Viggo Holst. Oh dear, Moichin, he is definitely the most unluckiest driver in the GP4 Offline Championships history, I think I have to say. So what happened here? So this was Viggo Holst. He was in 14th, right behind Zafri, and he just didn't seem to slow down. And he just went into the side of Roland Moichin. I don't quite know what Holst was thinking there. I mean, he was never really going to make the move on Zafri there, he was around the outside. And now that's taken, unfortunately, him and Roland Moichin out this race. And Paige Knight's in the pits. I don't think she was involved. So, obviously, Knight has had an instance somewhere on the track or at the chicane. And she's hit a bit of debris. I'm not quite sure what has happened to her. But, anyway, the race must go on. We are looking at Nella in 3rd place. Knight, unfortunately, will lose a lot of time. She will be right at the back as she comes out of the pits. As there is Volker, who's only down to 10th, so Volker's not had a good start either. So he's dropped from 8th down to 10th, so a poor start from both Southgate and Volker, the title contenders, although Volker, if he has more bad luck, like he has in the last couple of races, then he'll probably be out the title fight. As here is Cooper trying to attack Sontag for 6th place, sorry, and doesn't quite make it stick, but that means that it's going to give Alex Southgate a chance, as they're coming through the fast left and right. As Southgate's once again trying to move on Sontag, coming into the final turn. Don't think that's going to work, but now all three of these guys are going to have slipstream behind Mackenzie. So Sontag is probably going to try to make his move into turn 1. He's going to go to the inside. Is he going to make the move stick into turn 1? He's side by side with Mackenzie. And does he make it stick? Yes, he does. And now Southgate's trying to do the same as well. So I think Southgate's actually got past Kuba. I think we must have missed that. But Southgate hasn't managed to make the move stick. Kuba's down at 8th with the Toyota behind him. And Sam Thompson in the pit, so what's happened to him? He was battling with, I think that was Adam Wolf. They made a little bit of contact there, but he goes over the curb and he loses a bit of his front wing, so those high curbs of the chicane have caught out Sam Thompson. They caught out, I think it was De Barros, I think it was, in the GP2 race. He went flying over the curbs and destroyed his car, and wow. But that was just a little instant there for Thompson. Obviously it wasn't a huge one, but still it was enough for him to lose his wing. As here is his teammate Azul Zafri, who goes off, coming into the Michael Schumacher-esque corner, sorry. I don't know why I keep calling it curb, I think that's what the corner's called, but anyway, so Zafri doesn't lose any places, but now that's given Victor Bobo and Evan Byrne the chance to attack him, coming into the hairpin, and Bobo defends the Williams behind him of Byrne, and Bobo locks up, and Byrne unfortunately can't make his move stick. And now that brings George Roque into the fight. As Zafri's around again, he's spun around again, so it's been a disastrous race for both Force Indias so far. You can see he just goes wide at exactly the same corner, and he just goes onto the gravel. And this time, unlike last time, he actually spins it because he goes well off track. And there it is. He spins, and fortunately, no other cars hit him. It was quite close though. They had to obviously all brake, and they managed to avoid him quite close there. As you can see, the 2 Lotuses go by. But no problems there. There's another yellow flag out, so what has happened? So, something else has happened here. And, oh, that's Adam Wolf. Adam Wolf is out of the race. So what's happened to him? He comes around the left. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and he's actually flown in the air. Oh, my goodness me. That is a scary crash for Adam Wolf. He's somehow managed to not hit any cars on the way by. So that was quite lucky as well in itself. But you can see he goes on board. I mean, he was going way too fast. He had massive understeer. He just couldn't stop the car. And as I said, there fortunately wasn't any cars that were going past there at the time. So Adam Wolf managed to avoid a potentially fatal collision. As you can see, it just goes off. And unfortunately, the gravel can't stop the car. It just goes on at breakneck speed and just floats in midair. I believe I can fly. And he goes across the track and into the wall. Actually, it's quite ironic. He's got Air Asia, I think, the sponsors on his wings, so I think he can fly if he has a go. So we're on board. You can see he comes into the corner. He's going at really massive speed. He's going probably 150 or so, 60 miles an hour coming around there, and he just flies down, and it just goes right across. As I said, fortunately, there actually wasn't much more damage to the car. I thought the car would basically disintegrate, considering the crashes that we have seen this season. But as we look at it once again from another angle, but you can see from not in slow-mo. It is frightening, that is, just the way in normal time, the way how fast he goes and the way he flies over there. So we look at it for about the 50th millionth time. But as we look at it once again in slow-mo, comes around there, he was never making the corner, and unfortunately just couldn't slow the car down. And as I said, the gravel couldn't slow him down, although I don't know why he didn't try and use the brakes maybe. But you can see here he flies there, and there goes his car. Wow, that is still some crash there as he goes into the wall. So we now hopefully should be going back to the action. There goes the marshal, who goes away from turning his car, but in the pits comes Alex Southgate. A very early stop here, and we're only on lap 12, so yeah, it must be that Braun must be trying a 3 strategy, because otherwise he wouldn't pit this early, because I don't think if any driver pits this early, they can attempt to try and do a 2-stop strategy. So it looks like a 3-stop for Braun. I don't know if this is going to work. Obviously, I don't know what it's going to be like for Gal. I don't know if Gal will try the same thing as Southgate or not, as Evan Byrne comes into the pits as well. But it'll be interesting to see, because obviously Gal, who's still in the lead at the moment, so we'll see whether he will try the same thing or he'll do a 2-stop. So Evan Byrne, he'll do a 3-stop as well. He comes into the pits, change of his tyres. So let's see how quick the stop will be for the Irish driver. Oh, never mind, we're not going to see it. There's contact between Sontag. There's contact between Sontag and, I believe, was that Volker? I think it was. And wow, that was, I don't know how they managed to get away with that. And I don't think it was. I think it was actually James Willows. But they managed to get away with it. But Sontag has now lost all his momentum. As now Gal, the leader, is in the pits. So Kuba's now going to have a chance to overtake Sontag coming into turn 1. He's going to get on the inside. He's going to be able to make the blue stick. Is he going to have enough coming into turn 1? It's side by side. And no, it's not. Kuba backs off. And Sontag keeps 4th place, fortunately. Nearly a mistake there, as he is Florian Volker, who's right behind Jay McKenzie. In 9th place, he tries to make the move stick into the chicane. It's going to be a very late move. He goes over the curves as contact. And they managed to avoid a collision. Has Volker made the move? Yes, he has. I don't know how they got away with that. But well done to Florian Volker and Jay McKenzie. Great racing right there. And Volker will have delighted the home crowd with that move right there. As that is Jay McKenzie now off. And McKenzie, who just got overtaken by Florian Volker, he does the same thing as Zafri and Wolf. Well, Zafri twice and Wolf. But once again, McKenzie spins off. And that is obviously a cursed corner, because everyone seems to be going off there. As he tries to get himself back going again. As he has to stop, I think, to let the cars go through. But he's not exactly making it very easy for himself. As he gets himself going, gets back onto the circuit, he drops behind his teammate George Rogue, so he's lost a lot of time and a lot of positions. I don't know if that will put him out of points contention just yet. Here is the current leader, Joseph Willows, who obviously has not yet pitted. As here comes Sontag, he makes a move, a very late move on James Willows, and what a move he has done there from Felix Sontag. That was incredibly late, but he managed to make that stick as Koo was right behind Willows as well. Wow, we have to see that again. So look, it didn't look particularly on. I mean, he looked close, but Sontag really went for it and made the move stick into the chicane. Well done to Felix Sontag right there. And that now puts Willows under pressure from Wade Kuba behind him. So well done to Sontag. The McLarens really seem to be on its day, and especially does Sontag, coming from 8th place. As is Victor Abobo, who's got a puncture, and is he going to retire from the race? Yes, he is. Victor Abobo's debut season goes from bad to worse. He has really struggled this season, only scoring 1 point, and that was, I think, in the Monaco Grand Prix. As well, he has suffered a lot of reliability problems, like his teammate, Roland Moitin, as there is his car now being pushed off by the marshals at the chicane. And off it goes, as here is Evan Byrne right behind Page Knight. Is Byrne going to make a move into the chicane? He moves right, and oh, there's contact there as well. And Byrne has spun. Now the Lotus is going to come by, and I think we all knew what sadly was going to happen there. Mottro didn't really have anywhere else to go. And that is those two out of the race. As they got the two Force Indias right behind each other. So Byrne tried to make a move, he tried to make the swap, and then I don't know if Knight came back in front of him. Don't really know who to blame there. I don't know if there really is anyone to blame, but unfortunately Mottro tried to steer out the way, but just couldn't do so in time. He loses his front wing, Byrne loses his rear wheel, and he's out the race. And now Wade Kuba is now out the race. Oh, Wade Kuba. He's got an engine failure of some sort. And Wade Kuba, who's doing really well, looks set to probably get a top 5 finish. At worst, maybe a podium, but now That has all gone up in smoke, and Waze Cooper is out of the race, and I believe that was an engine problem on his dashboard. And that is very, very unfortunate for Waze Cooper, who's doing well in this race. As now Joseph Willis finally comes into the pits on lap 21, so it's obvious that McLaren are going to try a two-stop strategy. Will it work for them? Because obviously, as we know, last year their strategies pretty much never really worked out that well. There's a lot of wins, like in Hungary last year, were kind of taken away from them because their strategy just didn't work. But we will see, as it seems like the McLarens do have the pace to win this weekend, as Joseph Willis has shown and Sontag has shown during the race. That is a long stop of 16.9, so obviously they are going to try and get him to the end. Is that Gal coming down the straight? So will Willows get back out in front of Gal? I'm not quite sure, but it looked very close, and I don't think Joseph Willis did, and no, he didn't. As you can see on the leaderboard down below on the bottom of your screen, that Gal did get out in front, but Willis is only 2 seconds behind him. As here is the battle for 5th place. This is Nella and Southgate right behind Jack Boyman in the Toyota, and Nella's going to ease past him, as I don't think Boyman has made a stop yet. I don't think he has. But obviously, as we know, Boyman can go long distances, and now Southgate's going to try and go around the outside of Boyman, coming around into turn 2, and is he going to make the move stick into the next left-hander into turn 3? And yes, he does. A great move there by Southgate, but it's no surprise against Boyman, who's obviously got quite worn tyres and is probably struggling a fair bit at the moment. As here is, as Miklos Gau is now in the pit lane for his second stop. So, I think it is his second stop. I'm pretty certain it's his second stop. As here is, I believe, this is Felix Sontag right behind the Red Bull, of James Willows. And surely he's going to make the move stick into turn 1. He's got the speed, he's got the slipstream. And yes, he does make the move stick, and he goes up into 5th place. A good move there by Sontag on Florian Volker, not James Willows. And I think, was that a lock-up there from Volker in the background? I think it was. It looked like it was. There's a yellow flag out. And, oh, that's his Red Bull, and that's James Willows. James Willows has spun out. Oh, dear, and it looks like James Willows' podium spot has gone to pot. It doesn't look like he's going to... And he's done it again at the left-hander. What is going on at this corner? Someone has done something here. I don't know if they put a bit of oil down, but someone has cursed this corner. As you can see, Willows just goes off like Mackenzie, like Zaffrey, like Wolf. And the Toyota there of... Boyman does very well to avoid him there, as Volker goes by as well. Willows' teammate, as Willows is taking, seems the long way around to get back onto the track, and he eventually does so. He's lost a ton of time, but now he stops again to let some of the other cars go, and he's wasting some time here, Willows, and he's going to cost himself probably even the chance of points at this rate if he doesn't get himself going. And now he does, but he's dropped all the way down to 10th, as now Jack Boyman is finally in the pits. I don't know if we've hit lap 30 yet, but if not, then still, Boyman has gone further than anyone else. Once again, it shows he is essentially a Sergio Perez. He can go very far on his tyres. But Boyman comes out of the pits, and it is lap 28, so it's nearly lap 30. He's nearly gone half the race. So I don't know if he'll go for a one-stop or not, but we will see. Probably, I don't think he will. But into the pits comes Florian Volker for Red Bull. See how quick this stop will be. See how quick this will be for Volker, who's obviously not had a brilliant race. He didn't have a great qualifying, but he's had at least a better race than his teammate Willows, who obviously spun out and has probably cost himself the chance of points here, as now into the pit comes James Willows. So let's see how quick this stop will be for the British driver. Unfortunately, not been a good weekend, not been a good race, I should say, for him so far, having won the British Grand Prix last time out. As he comes out down the order, and here we're on board with Willows, and he's gone off again. Oh, James Willows, if there was any doubts that he wasn't going to get points, then those doubts are over. He's surely not going to be able to get any now, as he spins once again, and he loses a place to Paige Knight in the Toyota, as he finally gets back going, and well, that is just... It's not been a good race so far. As here is Boyman on the inside of... Oh! And he's made contact, Jack Boyman. He's made contact with the Renault of Finlay Strachan. And, oh dear, that has surely cost Boyman a chance of points. Boyman was looking really good to probably get some points with his, well, maybe one-stop strategy. But now I'll have to pit again. So I don't know if that means he'll have to pit a third time before the end. I don't think he would, really. I think he could make it to the end if he preserves his tyres well. But we will see. But Boyman now comes out of the pits. There's another yellow flag out, and that's Jack Boyman, and once again, Boyman, unfortunately... Oh, he goes off. He went off. Same as Zaffrey, same as... Well, you know the drill. He's gone off, like, same as everyone, and Boyman, he just goes off and he goes towards the wall and he just hits his car in the wall. So I don't know what was going on there. I don't know if the car failed or if he maybe went into the wall at frustration of him spinning out and obviously that collision with Strachan. That's probably what it was, but as you can see, he goes off and he was probably really angry under that helmet. He was probably really annoyed, and you can see he spins off. He would have recovered pretty well. I mean, he seemed to recover pretty well, and he would have got back on the track with relative ease. But he would have joined just behind his teammate Paige Knight. But well, he won't anymore. So that is Jack Boyman out the race. Bit of a weird incident there. I don't know what has happened there, but I imagine he'll have a talk with the team after the race as to, well, why that happened, as obviously the yellow flags are all coming out now. We're on lap 35 as we're now on lap 36, and here is the McLaren of Felix Sontag right behind Will Noah. This is, I believe, a battle for position. This is a battle, I think, for second place, and it is. So obviously Gal has dropped to fourth, so obviously his strategy has not worked, and I don't think he'll be able to get back out in front of Joseph Willows. Well, he may do, but he'll have to make another stop as Felix Sontag is going to make a move on the inside of Will Nella for second place, and he makes the move stick. So well done to Felix Sontag. He's having to second place, so it is the McLaren 1-2, something that I don't think any of us would have expected to start the season, as McLaren have struggled. Well, I suppose they haven't struggled that badly, but obviously Joseph Willis has got a podium or two this season. So as into the pits now comes Finney Strachan, who somehow didn't get any damage from that collision with Jack Boyman, and he's managed to stay in the race. It would have pretty much just summed up his last couple of seasons in a nutshell, really, as he's not had any luck whatsoever, and well, fortunately he is having the luck today. As into the pits now comes George Roke with BMW Sauber. Roke, who had a pretty poor qualifying. I think he got held up, I think, on one of his laps by a Lotus, and then I think the other lap he just couldn't find any pace, really. So it's not been a good weekend for him, and Mackenzie, it's not been a good race for him either. So Roke comes out of the pits. He'll come out down the order a little bit, outside the points. So now into the pits comes Felix Sontag for his final stop of the race. So this will be interesting. So will Sontag come out in front of Gal? I believe Joseph Willows will, but will Sontag come out in front of Gal? And was that actually the Brawn of Gal? And it was the Brawn of Gal that's just coming to the pits, so I think that answers your question. So Sontag will get out in front. So it will be a McLaren 1-2. So Gal will drop down to third place now, as Nella is in the pits, and now Southgate, Gal's teammate, is in the pits as well, as that is Nella, I believe, who had to wait for Southgate to go out. So that could hold up. That could help Miklos Gal. As now into the pits comes Southgate, as there is the Lotus in front as well. So this has been a fascinating race so far. So it looks like the McLarens have got the victory, or at least Willows has got the victory in the bag. Will they have the 1-2 will be the big question. Southgate is now let out the pits. He probably had to wait a little bit for that Lotus. As here we're on board with Miklos Gal, who is in third place. So obviously Sontag has got out in front of him, but Nella is right behind him, as you can see on the dashboard. I imagine he's probably going to try and make a move if he's that close to him. And he's becoming to turn one. You can see the wing of Nella's car. Nella's made the move to third place, and Nella has taken third of Miklos Gal. Something we did not expect. So Gal, unfortunately for Brawn, their three-stop strategy did not work, as you can see, because they just haven't seemed to have the pace during the race. Gal obviously showed it during qualifying, but obviously during the race, I don't know what Brawn had done to their car, but clearly whatever they have done, it has not worked, as Joseph Willows comes in for his final stop, so he can put the pedal to the metal for the final 10 laps of the race. So there is Sontag. So Willows will come out in P1, as Sontag, I don't think, will be able to get out in front. He's probably only just coming onto the pit straight now. And Willows comes out in P1, as there is Sontag just going over the start-finish line. So it looks set to be a McLaren 1-2, unless anything goes wrong, as Paige Knight is now off at the left-hander, and she recovers pretty well there. But she was in a battle with, I believe it was James Willow. She was in a battle with George Roke and James Willows. He was right behind George Roke in a battle for 9th place. And Knight just goes wide, as you can see, and spins off. But she manages to recover pretty well and gets going pretty quickly. So well done to Knight for that. James Willows, who you can see is down to 10th place. And I don't think, and even if he gets past Roke, I'm not sure where Mackenzie is out on the track. So I don't think unfortunately, he'll be able to get any points today, thanks to those 2 spins he had. And well, it's not really been a good race for Red Bull overall, as here is the leader, Joseph Willows. Joseph Willows, he's looked really good throughout this weekend, and during the race, it looked like he was set to get a podium, but obviously their pace has been a lot better compared to Brawn's, as Brawn's, and including their 3-stop strategy, which obviously was not the right way to go. 2-stop was clearly the right way to go. And Joseph Willis is leading very comfortably ahead of his teammate Felix Sontag. Obviously, this will be McLaren's first win since the 2008 Japanese Grand Prix at Fuji, where obviously Felix Sontag won and then Willis was second. So this time it will be a reversal. Willis will be winning and Sontag second. Not sure when the last... I was about to say I was not sure when the last McLaren 1-2 was, but that was in Japan, so I just look like an idiot. But anyway, Joseph Willis is coming down onto the back straight, and he's going to take the first non-Red Bull and Brawn victory of the season here in round 10. So it shows that McLaren, despite them having not having a particularly fast, reliable car, it looks set to win, as Joseph Willis is coming through the final chicane. He's come through and he's coming around the final corner, and Joseph Willis is going to take McLaren's first victory of the season and make it the first non-Brawn or Red Bull winner of the 2009 GP4 Offline Championship. Well done to him, as there is James Willis coming home in ninth. A very disappointing race after the British Grand Prix, as there comes Willis, Roke and Knight, and Felix Sontag is going to take second place to make it a McLaren 1-2, and Sontag will take second in front of his home fans. Well done to him. So even though they'll be disappointed with Volker, obviously where he is, they'll be delighted with Sontag as Nella comes home in third place. Well done to him as well, getting past Gal for third place with about 10 laps to go, as that is Gal, I believe, just coming behind Maturin, and Gal takes fourth place, but he'll still extend his lead in the championship as his teammate Alex Southgate is finished behind him. But Gal would have hoped that he would have finished higher, considering where Southgate had qualified, only down in 8th place, but Southgate comes home in 5th place on the team, and Florian Volker will come home in 6th place, so at least that is 2 Germans that are in the points, but one more importantly on the podium, but unfortunately not on the top step. Azal Zafri comes home in 14th, a disappointing race for Force India as well overall. Strachan comes home in 7th place, so Finlay Strachan takes his first points of the season finally. So well done to Strachan. As I said, he was lucky to get away with that collision with Boyman, but nonetheless, he has come home in 7th, and Jay McKenzie is going to take the last point for BMW Sauber in the Grand Prix. But there is your winner, Joseph Willows, and here on board with Will Neller. But well done to Joseph Willows and Felix Sontag, and well done to McLaren for showing that they are the real deal. That they can win races in this car. So well done to them, as we will now go to the race results. And here we are. So Joseph Willows wins with Felix Sontag 2nd, Will Neller 3rd, Gal 4th, Southgate 5th, Volker 6th, Strachan 7th, McKenzie 8th. Last one on the lead lap was Willows, Roke, Knight, Thompson, Maturin, Zafri, Mocho, all a lap down. With the following time, it's Jack Boyman, Waze Cooper, Evan Byrne, Victor Bo, Adam Wolf, Rolo Moitian, and Viggo Holst, obviously all out the race. So we will now go to the fastest lap. So Joseph Willows set the fastest lap by 3/10. Wow. Ahead of Evan Byrne, 4/10 faster than both Brawns. So that shows the pace that Joseph Willows had during this race. So well done to him. But obviously it shows that Evan Byrne actually had a fair amount of pace before his retirement. But as you can see, all the rest of the fastest laps, with obviously Holst and Moitian not setting one as they retired on lap 1. But here are the standings. So Gal leads by 3 points, extending it by 2 points ahead of Southgate, with Willows with 26 behind, I believe. With Volker 3 points behind him, with Will Neller 5th, McKenzie 6th, Joseph Willows up to 7th with that win, Sontag 8th with that 2nd place, Cooper 9th, Page 9th, 10th with 10 points, Roke 11th, Zafri 12th, Boyman 13th, Byrne 14th, Wolf 15th, Holst 16th, Thompson 17th, Strachan 18th with his first point of the season, Ibobo 19th with Moitian, Carr, Mocho, Ionescu, Maturin and Garcia with no points, obviously with Moitian, Mocho and Maturin being the full-time drivers in this championship, with Brawn, and meanwhile in the constructors, Brawn are leading very comfortably still, ahead of Red Bull, who are very, very comfortable, ahead of McLaren, who are up to 3rd with that 1-2, with Ferrari 4th, BMW all the way down to 5th, with Toyota 6th, Force India 7th, Williams 8th, Renault 9th, Toro 10th, and Lotus 11th. Well, that has been the German Grand Prix. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought that was a pretty decent race, but don't forget to, as usual, vote for your driver of the day and give the race a rating out of 10. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and we will see you for the next round, the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Budapest circuit. Goodbye.